So you and your housemate saw a light or lights?
Yeah, on two consecutive nights, one night after the other. The first night I saw it first because I go outside on the patio out back and I have a cigarette every now and then. And I just happened to look up and I saw what looked like lights in the sky is the only way I can describe it. But it was in a pattern that was circular. It's kind of hard to describe. As soon as I saw what was going on, my housemate was inside, so I ran inside and said, "Hey, come right outside, look at this." And he came running out, and we both stood there looking at it. And it looked like a disc, a black disc with lights on the edges, big lights. And the lights were rotating. Either the lights were rotating or the disc was rotating. I could only see one side of the disc. So as I guess the lights were rotating or the disc was rotating, and I could tell that it was rotating because the lights got smaller from one end, like say the left end, and as they rotated around, they got larger, and then as they went toward the right, they got smaller, and this continued. And I couldn't see the other side of what I thought was a black disc, but that's what it resembled to me. And that was the first night.
Okay.
That was the first sighting.
So you saw a black disc in the sky with lights around the outside?
It looked like a black disc. It looked like a black disc because it was blocking out the stars that should have been there. And when it was gone, that part of the sky was back again. You know what I mean? That's how I realized that there was something black in the sky.
I see. Okay.
Because it was blocking out. It was blocking out part of the sky that was behind it.
Nice. And then the edge of this black thing. So it was a circle blocking out the stars behind it, and then around the outside of this thing there were what? How many lights would you say? Maybe was it a few or a lot or?
It was a lot. I'd say maybe 50
okay.
lights that I could see directly, but they were huge. The thing was huge. It covered a large portion of the sky. I would estimate if I.
Sorry. When you say it was large, how I know it's difficult to put a size to these things, but was it just a large portion, say, of everything you could see? Was it a large portion of everything you could see, or was it kind of moon in the sky size, or?
No, it was much larger than, like, if I see an aircraft in the sky, like, say, because we have an Air Force base next to us, and the jets fly over. And if a jet was flying next to it, the jet would be the size of, say, I'm trying to get some kind of comparisons, like a glass marble to a Frisbee. You know a Frisbee?
Okay.
So if you took a glass marble, that would be the jet, like an F-14 or whatever jet, and you put the glass marble next to the Frisbee. That's how large the jet would be, and that's how big this thing was. It might have even been bigger than that. So it would have dwarfed a jet, a fighter jet.
Okay. And did it make a noise? Did you?
I heard
Did you feel anything?
Didn't hear any noise.
No noise at all, and you didn't get like a tingle or hair standing on end or anything weird like that?
No.
But you say it happened on more than one occasion?
That was the first sighting, which remains unexplained, kind of. Because I don't know what it is. My mind makes up things, you know? Because I see things, like my mind sees shapes in the sky, and from my past, this is what my mind tells me it is. But I know that that's my mind playing tricks on me. You know what I mean? Like pareidolia. You know the phenomenon?
I do, yes, I do.
So I know I can't rely on what my brain is trying to figure out by what I'm seeing. I can't rely on that. But I have someone else that was there. He can't come to the microphone. I mean, I can ask him to come up and talk to you if you want to hear him.
If he would like to, I don't know. I don't want to mess up anyone's evening. But
no, we're just sitting around. We're waiting for a repairman if he comes. But the other sighting was explained.
Okay.
And it was an odd thing, but it was a string of lights that went vertical through the sky, like straight up. But it continued, and then it just faded away. Like it didn't look like anything flying. It looked like something was launched from somewhere. And then we did some research and discovered that it was what's that guy's name with all his rockets? I forget his name. Elon Musk.
Was it the Starlink chain? Was it one of the Starlink chains?
Yes, that's what it was. It was the Starlink chain, and I witnessed it, and I ran inside. I come out, look at this. I see more lights, and he came out, and as soon as he came out, it faded away, and it was gone. It was that quick. But this first one was totally not the same thing, and we both saw it. So,
I'm with you on the Starlink because I saw it last year, and if you didn't know what it was, it would catch you out. And I was going out of the front of the house, and some of my neighbors were recording this in the sky because the angle we were, it looked like these lights were appearing from the clouds and shooting off into sort of outer space, just because of the angle. And people were recording it on their phones. It was superb. But it was a steady stream of them. They had a uniform gap between them, and the first few looked a bit odd. But once I saw maybe 7 or 8, you think, well, there we go, that's Starlink, or it's a UFO invasion. But unfortunately, it was Starlink.
Yeah, well, we figured out the second one that we saw the night after we saw the first one. We figured out what that was, but this first one that we saw, I couldn't figure out what that was, and it looked nothing like that chain. So it did, like the chain. I could tell by looking at it that there was nothing that it seemed. This is what my mind is telling me. Whether I know that I can't rely on it. So, but that's what the first sighting tells me it's something else. The second sighting tells me, oh, it's not, there's nothing behind it, it's just something shooting up in the air, right? Like a fireworks. Like it reminded me of fireworks. But the first time, that one, when we saw that one reminded me of something solid in the sky. You know, I could see part of the sky being blocked out, which to me gave it a shape, you know? And I'm a graphic artist, and I've designed things that spin with lights on the edges, and I know how it's supposed to function to make it look like it's spinning. And that's exactly how it was functioning in the sky. So I deduced in my mind that, yeah, this is a spinning disc with lights on the edges. Because of my experience with graphic arts, that's how I would have designed it so it would look like it was spinning. If I wanted, like, it wasn't, it's hard to explain the angle I was looking at it. Like, say if you took, say, a shield and you held it out in front of, like a round shield, like a Viking shield, and you held it out in front of you with two hands, you would see the whole thing flat on, right? But this was turned at an angle so you could only see the side. And it was at an angle in the sky that it blocked out part of the sky, and I could only see a certain portion of the lights that were rotating. Now, whether the disc was rotating and the lights were rotating was hard to tell. So that's what we saw on the first night. And that remains unexplained.
And just for anyone who's listening right now, are you? Would you say you're a skeptic?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't believe in that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's an explanation. It might even have something to do with something that's going on with the Air Force Base here, or I mean, I really don't know. Really don't know. I mean, I'm not someone that's going to jump to conclusions. You know, I'm not going to. How can I take that and say aliens? It's just that the leap is just so far that I can't make the other end. I can't get to the other end to make that leap work. You know what I mean?
I do. So you've got at it from the view of it was definitely something, but you wouldn't. It's as far as you're concerned, I guess it is just you don't know what it is. It's not necessarily aliens or anything like that. Okay, that's
right.
That's really interesting. And how long was it? Did you see it for in the sky? Was it there for? Was it seconds, minutes?
It was maybe a 2 to 3 minutes span of time, maybe a little longer. I didn't have my phone with me, and I asked my housemate, his name is Richard, to go and get his phone, and he went and got his phone, and he was standing there taking pictures. So I'm like, great, somebody's getting pictures, right? He's getting pictures. But we looked at the pictures, they were all black. They didn't show anything.
So I said, "Oh, is that because they were just weren't bright enough for the phone to distinguish them in the sky?" But
I don't know why. I watched him point his phone at the sky and take pictures, but when we looked at all the pictures, they were all black. I mean, it was plain as day what we were seeing in the sky. And I don't understand why a camera wouldn't take that picture. But he didn't get any pictures, and I didn't have my phone. And then I ran upstairs to get my phone, and I came down, and it was gone. So, you know, that's like a cliche story.
It's always the same, isn't it? As soon as you want the damn thing to work, it won't.
Listen, I'm going outside, taking my phone with me every time. So I'm going to if this happens again, I'm getting a picture of it. I'm going to try and get video and pictures, you know.
Awesome. That would be superb.
But I have a funny feeling.
Make sure you call back.
Yeah, if I have a funny feeling that this is never going to happen again. It's one of those things, you know. So.
Maybe.
That's my story.
Awesome. That's superb. That's really, really superb. Thank you so much for calling in.
Sure. You're welcome.
Awesome. Is there anything else you want to anything you want to tell us? Anything you want to shell out just before you go?
Well, I've never seen anything like that before. I don't believe in UFOs or aliens, you know, so I just want to make that clear. And I'm also a member of the TMI show, which is a bit of tea in Danish that usually airs every Thursday. Not sure about the times. I believe it's 8. It was the UTC, 8 p.m. UTC, and my time, Arizona time, is about 12 o'clock. Eastern's about 2. U.S., Eastern U.S. So that would be the TMI show or a bit of Tea and Danish. With Amiga Nuts, myself, and Linda, and guests.
Awesome.
And that's about it.
Awesome. Thank you, dear Sam. Thank you so much for calling in. And look after yourself.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hope you get your aircon fixed. And speak to you soon, hopefully.
Right. Okay. Cheers.
Okay, cheers. Bye.